Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So a $325 decrease for Social Security beneficiaries. Is that a real possibility? Is it going to happen sooner than we expect? We'll be covering that. Plus, we have a new warning for Social Security, and thousands of disabled workers have been removed from receiving Social Security benefits. We'll be covering that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our first story of today's video. This is from Newsweek. They say that thousands of disabled workers are being removed from Social Security benefits. So they say that the number of disabled workers who receive Social Security benefits fell by about 20,000 in May compared to the prior month. Data from the Social Security Administration revealed there were 7.25 million disabled workers who were beneficiaries of Social Security benefits in April. In May, the number ticked down slightly to about 7.23 million. In percentage terms, it was unchanged between the months, with both May and April having about 11% of recipients being disabled workers. Those workers received an average of about $1,540 a month in support from the government, and it was not immediately clear why the number of disabled workers who are recipients of benefits from the agency fell in May. It might be that they are now receiving retirement benefits rather than disability. Now, into our next story of today's video, we actually have a new warning from Social Security for Social Security beneficiaries. This one here is from Newsweek. They say Social Security warning amid U.S. population shift. So America's growing and aging population has led financial experts to raise concerns over the impact on the Social Security system, for which the number of claimants is also rising. The U.S. population has increased by over 103 million over the last 5 decades, and data from the Social Security Administration shows that the proportion of Social Security claimants has risen by more than 7% in this time. SSA data show the average growth rate of Social Security recipients is 1.8%. If this trend stays the same, the number of beneficiaries will have increased by roughly 36,221,550 in 2053, the latest year in which a population prediction is provided by the Congressional Budget Office. This could equate to 27.7%, or more than a quarter of all U.S. residents based on population forecasts. That would be a large amount of Americans receiving Social Security benefits compared to the people working and paying into the system, paying the taxes, the money that is funneled into the trust fund, and then of course gets shot right back out to those receiving Social Security benefits. Now, the article goes on to say that the number of retiree claimants has increased from 16.5 million in 1970 to 52.7 million in 2023, an increase from 8.2% to 15.7% of the population. The U.S. Census Bureau has also predicted that by 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be older than 65. It says that beyond 2030, the U.S. population is projected to grow slowly, to age considerably, and to become more racially and ethnically diverse in line with increasing immigration. So obviously, that could be very problematic as as Americans get older and older. Of course, there's going to be more people claiming Social Security benefits. And why exactly is that a problem? Well, it's because we don't have enough of a working population, a younger population that is working and paying taxes into the system. Before we would have, let's say like 3 or 4 workers for every person who is retired. So we're having 3 or 4 people working and supporting the one person who is retired. The three or four workers, of course, are paying the the FICA tax, which of course 6.2 to 12.4% of their paycheck is then going into the Social Security Trust Fund, and then all the money that's into the Social Security Trust Fund is now paying out to Social Security beneficiaries, and whatever is left over in that trust fund, of course, is invested in Treasury bonds, where it doesn't really earn a whole lot, but it earns a little bit of interest on a month-to-month basis. But now we're at a point where there's actually more money leaving the trust fund than there is coming into the trust fund, and eventually that number is going to come down so low that it actually surpasses negatively, where there's going to be less money in the trust fund and less money coming into the trust fund than we do to have to pay out 100% of the benefits. And that's going to be extremely problematic, and that's why we actually have this new article here from Fox News saying that Social Security payments will get cut by $325 a month starting in 2033 without changes. These are actually from Social Security actuaries, so these are actually professionals coming out with this number, $325 a month. This isn't like a clickbait article or anything like that. This is something that we definitely need to be taken very seriously, and something that we need to get our congressional lawmakers on to, get their act together. Republicans need to work with Democrats. Democrats need to work with Republicans. They need to stop fooling around, because if they just continue to kick the can down the road, then yes, there's a very real possibility that there could be huge cuts ahead. Like they say in this article, $325 a month, a reduction in benefits. That would be absolutely devastating to retirees. So the article states that trustees for Social Security and Medicare recently released a report that looked at the health of the key trust funds, that found that key trust funds are on pace to be depleted in roughly a decade. When that happens, those programs would only be able to pay out what they receive through incoming payroll tax receipts, meaning benefits would be automatically cut under the law. Social Security's Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund is expected to be depleted in 2033, when just 79% of scheduled benefits would be payable. When merged with the Disability Insurance Fund, the date shifts to 2035, with 83% of benefits payable based on the $1,907 average monthly check benefit as of January 2024. That 17% cut would leave beneficiaries with just a $1,582 check, $325 less per month, and $3,900 less per year. So obviously that would be a huge reduction in their benefits at a time where we have a lot of retirees actually going back to work, because they're realizing their checks and their cost of living adjustments are not keeping up with inflation. And then we're going to reduce checks even more. That could absolutely lead to an absolute crisis with the U.S. economy. So I definitely urge all lawmakers to get their act together and finally pass some type of Social Security reform. They need to ensure that more money is coming into the trust fund, or find a way to have less money leaving the trust fund. However that is, whether it's people who really don't need to be receiving Social Security benefits, those who have a lot of money, a lot of net wealth already, that are also getting, like a close to a $5,000 check per month, that really don't need it, for them to receive a little bit less, for everyone else to receive a little bit more, or not have these massive cuts. Whatever it is, they need to get something done. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.